Hello everybody, Forest Month is here. Today I got something very special for you, even for myself, because I was lucky last week, 2 weeks ago, when I'm logged for the Wenger knife page, and then usually send me what is available to buy, what kind of knife. And usually when I go there, everything is out, everything is sold out. So I was once I said, okay, well, I'm here because sometimes you got it, and after 1 hour, everything's gone. 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, I was lucky. So I was, as I said on this page, in the blades, and I had opportunity to buy the Tracker Junior. This guy. There were 3 only for whole batch probably, and 1 left. This one. So that was really hard decision. Don't worry, I will show you this one much more. But give me a minute. My exciting needs to go out, but the price is really high, and I'm talking about knife price. Not talking about shipping and the rest. This is probably the most expensive knife I bought in my history. Not that far from that Bark River Tracker or some others. I mean whole package. Because if I count just the price of the knife, well, I got the Tor is somehow close, and there are few others which are not that far. So it will be still probably the most expensive. But for that, if I add the other fees, then I said, wow, shall I go for it? But I said, okay, this is really opportunity to have this one, because probably not that easy. I don't know how many per year he makes, but I believe there will be not many of them. So I won't waste your time. Usually, especially my tracker knives friends, you very long time haven't seen a tracker with me, which is somehow true, because normally I usually have this T4 tracker made by Tops, and it is since I made, or actually I made the pattern for this cookery of mine. So if I got this T4 and this one, I got generally better tool than T3 tracker, which usually went with me somewhere, because this is definitely better chopper and better for the all the bigger task I need. Not the biggest one, because I got bigger knives, but there is the T3, because we will compare it. So this is the T3, of course. The tracker, this one is much longer than this one, of course, but by the weight, these are very close. So it's not that. So it's better for me to carry this one, but this is handy, just especially for these shaving things and so on. So now situation changed. I have, as far maybe as you know, this T2 tracker. Long time, couple of years. C is highly modified. I've convexed this one like I do normally on my trackers. I generally keep this one the same, only there is a secondary convex on it, and see there is a little bit of drop of the tip. The handle is relatively narrow. You can have it there, but you have to squeeze it and see that. So I'm exactly on the spot where the secondary spot for the finger is. So the handle is not really that comfortable, but in general the knife is alright. I like it, and especially I like it before I get this one. Just like if I want to have some tougher knife for all around, but I don't want to have something really big, really heavy, and so on. So this one is modified to scrape materials, to be minor bit stubborn when you throw with it. This This one helps. It doesn't look like that, but it helps. And of course, it slices better than it used to be as a new one. But I asked it, and I got pattern for my tracker, which will be better, smaller than this one, and bigger than this one. Something in between these two. I asked one knife maker actually to make it, and he agreed, and then I sent it some money, and he worked on it. He said, yeah, it will be ready, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't. So after a couple of months, I asked him to send me back my money. So I got my pattern still back. So I would say I'm working on it. But about this knife, generally about 5 inches tracker, I said I wish this tracker firstly made it of CPM 3V, because for me CPM 3V is superior to 95. I think all of us agree. Maybe not because the edge holding, 1095 will be probably somehow better, and the rest will be on the CPM 3V side. So that's something I really do like about that. And generally the handling. What bothers me on the trackers or top trackers is the tip here. I mean, it's simply too high, so it works like a shower more than the tip. I don't say you can't pierce something with this one, but to be honest, this one serves much better, right? So I bought a knife, it came, and let's go for it. Probably this knife maker, this Dave Wenger, they got some cooperation with Becker, and they making, it's German company. Come on, they're making these 3 models, Becker, and of course the biggest one is like T1 somehow, so it's longer than T1, about 1 inch or 0.8 of an inch on the blade. But this one, the smaller, the mid one, should be generally their take of this. I don't know exactly specifications of those knives, because I don't care about that. They are made of 1095. I saw some tests. Yeah, they are great. Someone broke the knife because there was the skeletonization, and he threw with the knife, and the handle, or generally the knife broke. Okay, so you can say you shouldn't throw with the knife. I agree. But if you throw with these trackers, which are full like there is no any skeletonization inside any of them. This is simply pure steel there. So these are tough. I've seen this one bend by throwing, not this one, but my friend got one and threw, and it was slightly bent, so he needed to straighten it up. But the knife serves up to date, so careful about that. This is, of course, a little bit different story. This is 154 cm, so this one won't bend, this one will break if. But I threw with this knife many times, and it's absolutely all right. But I won't go back to T3 because that's much. This is simply different knife. I mean, it's size. You know, in the end of this video, you're gonna see all these 3, actually 4, included T4, side by side. So you might see some details there. So this is different knife because it is about that longer on blade, but much heavier. 5.5 ounces heavier. So this is different story. So I'll take this one out, and finally let's go to the Wenger tracker. Finally, it came with this sheath, which is quite heavy. That's very important thing. It's Kydex, as you might see. I haven't removed this one, so that came like this one. Maybe I'll take this one off and I'll add some my tech lock like clip under that. Maybe I will see. I need to work with this one out, because if this one is made, you know, to carry this one, or actually it is, of course, or maybe this side should be somehow serve me as a kind of scout carry. I don't use it on the backside anymore. I've tried that, but this is kind of, for me, kind of movie stuff. But to have it on the belt in the front, where you can reach the knife with your right, even with your left, it's really versatile. And I've got many knives I carry like that, but usually about 4 inches on blade. This is 5, so, or 5 point something. That's another topic. Let's go to that a little bit later. So maybe I'll try it. We'll see. Otherwise, everything is nice. Only what I found in this one. Let's see. Okay, let's find out how. See if you are looking for kind of perfection or imperfection. Drainage holes from both sides. Drilled through. What I got here only is the sheath include, of course, the leather, and I think it's because of that it's relatively heavy, especially compared to the size. I'm not really a friend of overbuilt sheath. You will see it very soon on a different knife. So sometimes, I don't know, maybe the Kydex simply will be okay. Anyway, what I want to point out is the releases of the knife is, see that? Oh, I don't have it in my hand already, but what's the point? When you release it, it immediately drops. So it's something different when you have this, it stays there simply, still stays there, still stays there, still stays there, still. You simply need to remove it, all of that. This one is different story. So you have to be careful when you release it. You have to have it in your hand securely. First thing. The second thing is the release is somehow a bit easier than I would like. Maybe I will do something with it. See the entrance of that. I think I will work about it because it's not exactly like I want it. Otherwise, how it's done. Oh, sorry. Last thing. I don't want to do this one because it will fall immediately. I guess if I do this one, it will be out and probably cut me. So I don't want to do it. So sheath is alright. I'm happy. Let's say 4 out of 5. Let's say 4 stars out of 5 about that. I don't care really about these. This is not really clean cut. I don't care because it is a handmade knife, as I do understand. And that's it about the knife. Finally, seems to me it came a bit dull than I would expect it for knife for $555 price. Yeah. And I don't use this one. I'll use the hollow grind. I'll go to that a little bit later. Nope. By the way, this is sharpened by me. Yeah. On this spot, it shaves. Not really, not as good as I like to have it, but it's all right. It's much thicker behind the edge, but this is the T2. It is a hollow grind, so see that? See these, I don't know, the small pieces, little pieces of paper. I can buy, by the way, another criticism to the T2, the price of the knife came rised up really high. It is very close to T1, which is generally double-sized knife. I mean, by the mass, what is in there, not by the length, but by the mass is there. So this is very expensive for what it is, and I don't want to say about this one. It's really expensive. I don't want to say now for what it is, but CPM 3B and so on. So it's duller than I would expect. This is really hollow grinded. So as you might see here, this is really hollow grinded. It's about 1 millimeter if you stick. Okay, so let's put it this way. I don't know if you're gonna see it. I don't know if you see that. So there is minor gap, about 1 millimeter, maybe less, 1 millimeter down. Of course, from both sides, I've tried that. And this one, the top one, seems to me is somehow, see how it moves? This is flat, now I'm there. So it is not straight. So it is not like that. So it's somehow convex, but definitely far away from that what Bark River does or did. I don't know how they work now, but definitely Bark River got really much better convexes than this one. I dare to say my convex is better than this one, handmade. Anyway, so there is some convex. So there are two different edges, which I do like on trackers, and I'm glad that this grind here is much longer. See that? How short this one is, and how long, relatively long, this one is. Of course, better for chopping and cutting. This is 4.8 millimeters or 3/16 of an inch. I believe that's correct. And this is 0.23 of an inch. This is the first thickness of that. That thickness I got on all my knives. So you can see them. So in general, this is 1 millimeter thicker than the top one. So you might see them, I don't know, because this one is black, so it's hard to say. What I really do like, this tip, this is something what, as I said, bothers me if you want to have it for your piercing and generally drilling something. To have the tip more in the center is of course much better than to have it offset, of course. Anyway, it allows me when I use if I want to use this one for real cutting or slicing, I really have to go that deep. Here I don't need, this is just like, and I'm there. So I'm glad for this one. For me, it prolongs the useful part of the edge, because the edge more towards here, if I don't want to pierce something, it's generally useless, because I won't probably work on the very tip, very end of the edge somewhere here normally. If I have to have my hand like this one, this is very uncomfortable position. This is much better. This is much better. So that's really point plus for me for this one. As I said, CPM 3V. By the way, I show you this one. You might see. So this is the sticker I get, or sticker, sorry, kind of proof of identity, or what is that? So we got Tracker Junior 0.23 thickness, CPM 3B, 61 HRC. So tops is 56 to 58, as I remember properly. Finish. Well, maybe guys help me. I don't know what it is. If you can read it, I don't know what it is. Caswell, I don't know. Burlap micarta, which I do like. By the way, on the Tops made their special edition of T3 tracker made of S35EN, you might remember, with this exactly same micarta, exactly like that. We got the overall length 10 inches, which actually is probably, yeah, maybe overall length is slightly shorter, but blade length 5 inches, which is slightly longer, but slightly, I mean 0.1 0.1 maybe of an inch, something like that, 0.1, maybe even 0.009, something like that of an inch. Manufacture date 8/26. So this is really freshly made knife, of course, because they are usually gone very fast. So that's something very important. So hollow grounded blade. I haven't checked any, like I would say, unevenness on grinding, which on a handmade knife I don't care that much. Just check it with me. For me, it looks really nice. See how thick the tip is. I do like it. So somehow convex, somehow hollow grounded. Two edges which you like to have on knife. Some more effective for cutting and slicing, some effective for chopping, splitting in general. Toughness of the blade. And of course, something what some people don't like, I do, is sawback, the top. See the difference? This is a really different sawback than on the tops. So I'll put them side by side. So the tops got some squares, generally squares, and sided on the back, left or back right, upwards. So just grind it like this. This one is a little bit different story. Even both of them are made for like pulling cats. So if you move this way, it's absolutely all right. You can do it. There's no problem with that. But there is a like a rip. I don't know if you can see that, but there is like a rip in the middle. Like they do it. I don't know. There's like a rip in the middle. And of course, this is similar like that, but it's like the square is halfen. I mean, by length, this length is just half of that square, so it's not square anymore. It's kind of rectangular, little rectangular. And of course, there is the grinding again to the angle back and here. So I haven't tried this knife. I want to show you this knife without any cutting, chopping, like it's simply like it came. By the way, it came with these, and that's it. And with the sheet, no box, no any stickers or something like that. So I got plenty of these. There were few. I said plenty, few of these business cards, and this one, and that's it. I don't care actually, but just to inform you. So what's important? See this curvature there, and see the straight here. How this one works and how this one works, I know how this one works, but how this one will, I don't know how this one will work. We'll see if this curvature will help. So you have if you find out and you want to buy this knife, or probably I think he makes the sawback, even all those three. I'm not sure now, but this model you can buy with the sawback here, or sawback here, or without any sawback. So this is choice, and this is my choice, and I'm happy for that. The sawback here maybe because it's straight, so it could be somehow better. But this is weird angle to use the sawback to press there. So this is definitely much comfortable to do it in this way. So we'll see. I'm surprised. Anyway, somebody can say it's it destroys your ability to rest your thumb on it. My experience with this one, and I show you in one of my video about the top trackers, you can rest your thumb on it if you don't push forward. If you are there, so you're pressing down, or even to be more safe a little bit towards it, so you do generally this movement, so you're pressing because you want it there, and then you do your stuff you are absolutely fine. I guess you won't do it for half hour, something like this one. But if you want, if you like to do it, I showed you in my video, you can have piece of bark or something, like just put it there and you are fine. So for me, I'm glad for that, because as I said, the saw back there is another tool you have with you. So what is a little bit shame on that tracker knife, which is should be suitable for outdoor activities, and it makes, of course, making fire or something like that, scrape materials. There is, of course, the saw back you can use for scraping ferro rod. So that's the point. You can't, or you don't have space, exclude the saw back, something like I've made here, to scrape ferro rod on or other materials, because this is simply rounded. It is nicely rounded, and it is rounded. So we'll see about this one, how this one work. Moment. So I would like to have it like on 90 degrees here, but I'm alright because I can use this one even if it removes lots of material out of the ferro rod if I need it. So some differences. Okay, no, firstly I will tell you some details for that, because I won't go over that, and I will do some comparing with the T2, because those are very comparable knives. I don't talk about the Becker's version, because that should be generally copy of that, made of different material and so you got a whole package. It's quite heavy thanks to the weight sheet. It's 428 grams or 15 ounces overall. Or knife itself, 271 grams or 9.5 ounces. 271 grams. This one is 2 grams lighter, so one A4 paper sheath lighter, about, so just a hair lighter than this. So generally these are generally the same knives. I mean, by the length, by the weight, and that's it. So quite heavy package with that. By the way, the sheath itself weighs 135 grams, I believe, something like that, 135 grams, so about 5 ounces, some 5.5 ounces. It's very heavy, the sheath, include this one. So that's what I've said. Anyway, they said it is for 10 inches in length. Yeah, probably, yeah. If you count, it should be 2.54 centimeters, so 25.4 millimeters as a 1 inch. So if that will be correctly counting, because we count roughly 2.5, that's it. This one should be slightly longer, just like that. So I don't care, 25 centimeters generally, or 10 inches in length. Blade length itself, that's interesting, is 5 inches, which is not. You're gonna see it in the end of the video how I compared these blade lengths. You're gonna see there more. But this is slightly over, a bit longer than 5 inches, which is great, because it gives me a little bit. By the way, see the guard here. The guard here is like it is a bit grinded down here and here, so it's not just piece of material like this one. Simply this is in the thickness of the original, but this one is not. This one is grounded to kind of edge, but there's no edge, of course. There is square there. So what is important, this one is 12.9 centimeters, which is generally 13 centimeters, compared to, as I said, sorry, not compare, but measured from the very tip to the start of the handle here. This one is, 12.5, max 12.6 of centimeters. again from this spot to the very tip. So this one is slightly longer, but why it matters, because I got a nice long prolonged like cutting edge, as you might see, include this sharpening choil, which is not here. I think there wasn't one, or maybe I've removed it. So I'm sorry if I have removed it. I'm sure there wasn't one. I can't remember. I'm sorry, guys. So now there was one. See that here. So I'm sure. See. I'm sure there was one. I'm sorry, that's my mistake. So it was shorter. So the cutting edge on this one, I mean the draw knife here, is about 5.5 centimeters, really to the very end here. 5.5. Sorry, I tell you, 5.5. 2.16 of an inch. 2 inches and 0.16. And this one, from this hook, say, it is to this spot, it is 6 centimeters, but it is also 5.5. Yes, this is the same length. So this is the same, 5.5 on the millimeter same. And I measured that yesterday. Sorry, guys. And the, let's say, chopping part is 6.1 centimeters. 6.1 centimeters. So this part in general is 6.1 centimeters, but there is 6.1 centimeter. I tell you right now. Come on. 2.36 of an inch. But on this one, on that Wenger tracker, it is 6.3, so it's slightly longer. But what is important, thanks to this the shape here, I can use this one more for chopping, because it is still there when I chop, even here, if I'm here. Because the sweet spot of this knife for the chopping is here. This is generally for chopping useless. You won't chop just like that, only if something is thicker, so you go there, but you won't bite as deep, because you go really in steep angle upwards. So this one, so even if this is slightly longer, but this concept of blade is or edge is better used for chopping, because I'm still more usable. So even this one will be in the same length, but it went here. So this part will be for chopping. For these tasks, generally useless. So I can use it for batoning here, of course. This will be probably somehow better, because this is straight, so I can go this one much it's much easier, because that batoning stick won't go off. But if if I baton this in this way, for this almost 6 millimeters, so almost quarter of an inch, almost thick CPM 3D, so I can go in this way, and I'm pretty much sure it will be all right. Or anyway, I can hit here, so I will for this to this edge, and it will go out. Of course, I like to use it more if there will be some wood with knots or something. Like I will use this part for splitting rather than this one, because this is simply whole ground. So on this one I don't care, because there is the convex, but this one should be better sliced. That's something I want. So that's really different between these two knives. So this is, as I said, almost 13 centimeters, 0.1, let's say, of an inch from this spot to the very tip. As I said, 6.3 millimeters here, so 2.36, what I've said. And this is slightly shorter, 5.5, so 2.16 of an inch of cutting blade. The handling, see that curvature, which is kind of cookery shaped. This one is all right, thanks to the hook here. You can grab it here for chopping. I did it countless times with this. But this one really helps. The comfortable of handling compared to this tracker, different story. This is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. I like, to be honest, I like these tops handles, but this is really beautiful. This is very comfortable. See the thickness, by the way. Even there is, no, there is not. So I want to say there's a contouring. I mean, from this side, there is not. There's not contouring, sorry. So the handling is very nice. You see, even if you got larger hand than I have, you still got some space here. Lanyard hook, of course. See this hollow rivet, but instead there are 3 screws there. I believe these are rivets, and that's it. So it's fixed, I believe. Also, I believe, and I don't know, and I don't know how to prove it, but I strongly believe there is no any skeletonization. Why? Because only few knife makers do this one. See this narrow tail. Even its full tongue, it narrows to the midsection. So the point of balance is really somewhere there. So if you hold it, the knife won't go forward from your standard position. You simply won't go a little bit forward, which is great. So of course, if you chop even with such a small and light knife, you can go here and you're there for full thickness. But to grip it here this way, it's very secure thanks to the handle shape. This is really, you feel you got it there. Even what is next, plus you feel the traction. It's kind of hot, I would say. I mean, or warm touch. Sorry, maybe that's maybe a better word. You got it there, so it sits there, and you feel there. This one is all right. But thanks to this relatively narrow handle, this is, by the way, 0.8 of an inch thick. 0.8 of an inch thick, and this one is much thinner. This one is 0.63, so 0.2 of an inch thinner. The T3 is slightly, it's 0.7 something, 0.71, this one. And I like this one. This one is all right. By the way, oh, okay, my fault. There is another carbon fiber plate which I've added there. So see that? So it was thinner, 1 millimeter. So it was close to the T1. Only in this size it was simply bigger. So I've added by myself 1 layer here. You can see it here on the T3, simply to have more secure, more thicker handle in my hand. So it's more secure. I don't need to do it here. This is, of course I can do it, but as I said, this is very special. For the counterweight, you don't need to do the skeletonization. I strongly believe there is no any skeletonization. See that from the full thickness, almost 6 millimeters, to this 2 millimeters about. You can see only, really not many manufacturers do it. Cold Steel, original Warcraft Tanto, the first one, all of them got it, as far as I know, or the CPN3 versions, I don't know, the rest. See the tank? It goes down. Same on the longest one, and I believe the small one, the 5 inches blade, I'm not sure now, but I'm sure the longest one, that 12 inches blade, I really do like as a chopper. Got this narrowing tank too. Tell me which company do it. Which one? Does it? So I don't know, but this is really great. So my very big plus, if there is no any skeletonization, and he did this balance, point of balance, because of this narrowing, very big plus. So, gentlemen, probably I've said everything about this knife. So the last, if you want to see, there are, by the way, some saying there somewhere on the side, but I don't know what it is. Guys, I'm getting older. I have to buy glasses. I don't know what is there. I'm sorry, guys. Something is there. See, it's maybe just like trademark of this Wenger. Probably it is. There is no Wenger blades. Oh, sorry. There is saying Wenger blades as far as I see. Uh, there is no saying this is CPM 3V, but here it is. So I believe that. So guys, definitely I will do the test comparing between these two, this one and this one. Talking about price, what to say? But uh, sometimes I feel, please tell me, or I don't know how the really name of the Wenger knives is. For me, is really one from the top class, especially for the truckers, knife maker. If it is, and I really do like this knife. That's important thing. It doesn't matter if something about the name and something like this. And it is made of CPM 3V, which is high plus 61 HRC, maybe a little bit over than I want, because for the sharpening in the field, it might came a bit sharper than I would like to have it, because really lots of my knives, most of them were sharper and much cheaper. So I'm happy with that. The sheath it's okay, as I said, for 4 stars out of 5. The handle is excellent. It's super for the handling. In general, the shape is all right. No, it's all right. It's beautiful to have it in hand, seriously. And what is the sawback? I like it there. I believe it works, like at least like the tops normally. If that will be a little bit better or a little bit worse than the tops, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm glad I had opportunity to buy it, even if that will be really. Oh, sorry, if that was kind of windy in my pocket. Thank you very much. Have a great time and see you with the test. Bye. And there will be now the comparing T3, T2, T4, and this Wenger tracker. Bye. And here we have them lined up. These are in line by the handle scales, so you might see the blade length uh, difference among this Tops T3 tracker, this Wenger, how we call it. Sorry about that. And Tops T2 and Tops T4. There isn't the T1, the original, because that's going to be huge. It will be something like here. So here we have them. As I said, line it up on the scales. Now I have lined them up by the length, so by the side of the handle. So now you see the real size difference. I take out the T4 and let's see that this Wenger is slightly longer. Here it is, slightly longer than T2. But if we go here, Now we can see quite different. It is about 1.5 centimeters, so over 1.5 inch, which should be like that, because this is gonna be 14 almost 14 and a half centimeter of blade. Should be like that. So this one more. Now you got them side by side. See the thickness of the handle. So this is much comfortable than these two, and simply it matches like that. So this one is in the middle, not only by the length but by thickness. This is about 3/16. This is T2 3/16, or 4.8 millimeters. This is 5/8. Oh, sorry. No, my fault. So this one is the thickest because this is 5.5, or 0.23 of an inch, and this is 0.19, I believe, or 5.2 millimeters. This is the T3. So this is by the thickness, this is the thickest, then this one, then this one. So